Hello, I am Ben Cantor, and this is my presentation on urban greening. Here we see an example of it, a picture of a hotel in Singapore with lots of greenery around its balconies. So now that you've seen it, it is time to understand it. So, what is urban greening? It seems pretty self explanatory, and that's because it mostly is. It is the process of introducing more greenery and nature into urban environments. This can be a range of different plants for various reasons. Here you see the Giving Garden, which is not only a place to plant crops, but is also used as a community event space to teach students how to grow plants and turn food waste into compost. The general idea is to incorporate more of these green spaces in a cityscape, providing places for relaxation and supporting local wildlife. Here we see another example. This is the Kampung Admiralty, which is just a beautiful community space with sitting areas and food, and of course, greenery. There are tons of obvious benefits from having more nature, such as soaking up rainwater, reducing air pollution and carbon emissions, and studies show general mood improvement. Things like memory have been proven to be increased when you're around nature more than other urban situations. But there are also some benefits that at least I personally didn't think of right away. I found a study quantifying the difference between pathways in shade and in sunlight in California. And interestingly, the air and surface temperatures stay relatively constant, but the mean radiant temperature, the MRT, as you can see right there, or the amount that humans will feel it, goes up drastically in the sun, as I've highlighted here. Um, Also notably, even in the sun, grass is the path material which maintains the coolest temperature out of all of them. How feasible is all of this, though? As it turns out, very. Even overwhelmingly urban areas like New York have implemented some type of greening. Here you can see the High Line, which used to be a railway, but is now a serene walking path lined with lots of grass and shrubbery. The setup and maintenance of these can be incredibly low tech, but they do require constant maintenance and are heavily reliant on annual precipitation of the area. If the purpose is to combat climate change, unfortunately, this strategy might not be the best choice for areas with little rainfall or a really intense population density. And this leads me into my next point, which is that the environmental impact is minimal regardless. Here is a graph of Singapore's carbon emissions over the years, and almost all of it is coming from places other than CO2. The study this figure is from also mentions that when comparing countries by other factors, such as natural forest loss, habitat conversion, overfishing, fertilizer use, or water pollution, Singapore ranks number one. So the climate fixing effects of this greenery is not that impactful on this area, and they should probably be looking at other ways to mitigate their emissions. Anyway, that's all I have to say about urban greening. It's a really simple concept that a lot of places are beginning to implement, but I hope you still learned something from this presentation. Either way, thank you for listening.